Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to discuss one of the chapter from embryology, plant embryology. We know the father of our Indian plant embryology, P. Maheshwari, Panchana Maheshwari. So here at the embryology, we are going to discuss about the most important topic with having the very application in the plant breeding, okay, in horticulture, that is polyembryony. Here we are going to discuss about the polyembryony structure, types, and function. This is Dr. D. Nagaraju, Assistant Professor of Botany, Government Degree College, Varagadal. Okay, polyembryony means usually the each seed is having a single embryo only. Each seed is having a single embryo, so that this embryo will germinate and will form the plantlets, new plants. This for this embryo development, endosperm will be utilized in the endospermic seeds. Okay, but in some of the plants, more than one embryo is present within one ovule or within seed. Within the one seed, more than one embryos are present in the fertilized ovule. It's called polyembryony. More than one embryos within a single seed. This is very common in our mango. More than 30 to 40 embryos may present within the single seed of the mango. Highly polyembryonic species are mango and citrus. Okay, here in the plant, this phenomena was first reported by Anthony van Leeuwenhoek in 1790 in orange seeds, in orange. Okay, orange. Okay, this word coined by Braun in 1859. Polyembryony word is coined by Braun in 1859. Usually, polyembryony is so common in the several gymnosperm. The characteristic features of the most of the gymnosperm is polyembryony. And even in angiosperms, dicotyledons, monocotyledons also, some of the species exhibits this polyembryony. Okay, there is the schematic diagram of the polyembryony. Simple and multiple. Ovule with one embryo sac, ovule with more than one embryo sac. Okay, ovule with one embryo sac is asexual. Okay, so that means without gamete fusion. There is no fusion of the male and female gamete. Without the fusion, it forms the embryos. Okay, at the most, for the notion. Okay, here two types are there. That is gametophytic and sporophytic. Gametophytes, that means from the gamete, female gamete. Here synergids are antipodal cells. Either from the synergid cells or from the antipodal cells. These are gametophytic. And sporophytic is nucellar endosperm and integments. Ovary integments. Either from the endosperm or from the integments. From the sporophytic embryos, polyembryos. Okay. The sexual zygotic embryo will form, and sometimes from the synergids also embryo will be formed. Sahayaka canal from the synergids also. Okay. Mainly polyembryony basically two types. There is spontaneous polyembryony and induced polyembryony. Spontaneous polyembryony means it occurs spontaneously, naturally it occurs in the most of the species. Natural polyembryony species are mango, citrus. papaya. These are the natural polyembryonic species. And second one is induced polyembryonic. It includes case of experimentally induced polyembryonic, which we induce that polyembryony by giving the stimulating phytohormones like ethanol, NAA, NBA, like that. Again, Arist divided spontaneous polyembryony into two categories that are true polyembryony and false polyembryony. True polyembryony means two or more embryos arising in the same embryo sac from the zygote embryo. Same embryo sac within the same embryo sac, within the embryo sac only, other embryos along with the zygote embryo will form. These are the true polyembryony. These are occurring within the embryo sac. Okay. Okay. From the zygote or embryo, eulopia and wand are examples. Sometimes synergid cells, which are adjacent to the egg cell, these synergid cells also will form the embryos. Example is Sagittaria. And sometimes antipodal cells. At the micropylaryn, antipodal cells, these are the vegetative cells which are present in embryo sac. These also form the embryos sometimes. Example is almost. Nucellus or integumentary embryos. That is best example is Citrus and Mangifera and Spheronthis. Either from the nucellus or from the integument also these embryos will form. And here second one is the false polyembryony. That means development of embryo more than one embryo sac. That means either from outside of the embryo sac or from the other embryo sac. Okay, either from outside of the embryo sac in the ovule or from the other embryo sac in the ovule. It forms the embryos in the same ovule. That is Fragaria or from the placenta embryo will develop in the Loranthus. True polyembryony may be subdivided into two types, that is cleavage polyembryony and adventive polyembryony. Okay. Then Yakov classified polyembryony according to genetic basis. Based upon genetic structure function, Oaklow divided it into two, that is gametophytic polyembryony and sporophytic polyembryony. Gametophytic polyembryony means it's arising from any gametic cell of the embryo sac after or without fertilization. After or without fertilization, any gametic cell which form the embryo. Okay, and then next one is sporophytic polyembryony, arising from the zygote, proembryo, are the initial sporophytic cell. So the initial sporophytic cell of the ovule. That means nucellus or integument. That is sporophytic polyembryony. The next classification is Bowman-Boswinkel. Based on the origin of additional embryos, spontaneous polyembryony divided into four categories. Spontaneous polyembryony divided into four categories that are supernumerary embryos arising from sporophytic cell of the parental generation. That means integument or nucellus. Supernumerary embryos arising from the cells of the gametophyte by one or more embryo sacs in the same ovule, female gametophyte. Ovule. Okay. Third one is supernumerary embryos arising from the new sporophyte That means after fertilization, zygote either from the zygote or pro-embryo is from the more embryos. Okay, by splitting pre-fertilization. Okay, supernumerary embryos arising from the male gametophyte. This may be suspend. Sometimes from these also may arise the new embryos. Okay, these are the four types classified by the Bowman and Boswell. And Weber classified the polyembryony into the following three types. That is cleavage polyembryony. In this type of single fertilized egg gives rise to a number of embryos. Gives rise to number of embryos. Okay, that means it cleaves, it splits, divides. If embryo, zygote or pro-embryo, it divides and it forms a more number of the embryos. Okay, and this is cleavage polyembryony is very common in the gymnosperm. Okay, next one is simple polyembryony. In this type, number of embryos develop as a result of the fertilization of several archegonia. There may be several archegonias, female gametophyte, maybe form. Okay. Third one is rosette polyembryony. Some of the gymnosperms, for example, Pinus. Additional embryos develop from the rosette cells, and this type of polyembryony has been termed as rosette polyembryony. Rosette cells, from the rosette cells it formed as a rosette polyembryony. Okay, in angiosperms, polyembryony is basically these types below given that are first one is cleavage polyembryony, second one is embryo from synergids, third one is embryo from antipodals, embryo from endosperms, and adventine polyembryony. These are the types. First one is cleavage polyembryony. These type of embryos are formed due to the proliferation or budding or division of the embryo. By the division or by the proliferation or by the splitting or by the budding, it forms a more number of embryos from the single embryo. It is most common in the gymnosperm. The gymnosperm is very common in the polyembryo. Swami 1963 identified in Orchidaceae family Holobaria, Eulopia, and Cymbidium bicolor. Zygote vertically divide into two. These independently grown as proembryos. These independently grown as proembryos. Okay. And in Exocarpus Sandalaceae, 6 embryos are formed. 6 embryos are formed at a time by the proliferation suspensor cell. But of this, only one will be fertile. Though it is polyembryony, only one will be fertile. Okay. And these are the examples. Here we can see the Eulopia polyembryony. Here you can see split suspensor. And here suspensor polyembryony. You can see the exocarpus. Suspensor is divided into two parts. These form the two embryos. Okay. Then next one is origin of embryo from the synergids, which are adjacent to the egg cells. The both the side two synergy cells are there. The two synergy cells are useful to pump the pollen tube towards the egg cell. But sometimes accessory embryo may be formed from the synergids also. The male gamete released in the embryo sac from many pollen tubes fuse with the synergids along with the egg cell and form the embryos. Sometimes many pollen tubes may enter into the embryo sac. That time, second or next pollen tube may enter into the synergids. There it may be fertile, fuse, and it form the embryos along with the egg cell. Sometimes these embryos are formed from synergies, even without fertilization. Example is Argemone mexicana. Even without fertilization also, sometimes synergy cells will form the embryos. Okay. Then next one, origin of embryo from antipodal cells. Antipodal cells are vegetative cells. Production of embryo from antipodal cells are rare because these are ephemeral. They may degenerate before or after the fertilization. Before or after the fertilization, they may degenerate. Okay, in almost Americana, the antipodal resembles the egg cell. Antipodal cells resembles the egg cell. Due to their position, we can infer that these embryos are formed from the antipodal. Based upon their position, we can easily identify whether it is embryo formed from the egg cell or from antipodal cell. Also found in almost globra. Here it is Ileum odorum Elodostoma sinuatum. It is not definitely known whether these embryos attain maturity or not. Okay. Origin of embryos from endosperm. True, 1898 in Belanophora and Woodward in Ulnus and others have reported the embryos developed from the endosperm, nucellus, endosperm. Embryos may be displaced or adventitious embryos may enter into the embryo sac and settle in the endosperm. Sometimes these enter into the embryo sac and settle in the endosperm. Example, Mangipara vadarata and Trillium. Here you can see in the Mangipara indica. Okay. Then adventitious polyembryon. The embryos also develop from the cells of the nucellus and integument. Nucellus and integument. They come to lie within the embryo sac. Just outside, adjacent to the embryo sac is nucellus, and above the nucellus is the integument, which cover the ovule. Okay. These two also may form the embryo sometime. Okay. These are adventitious embryos. In Citrus species, limited number of the embryos are formed from the nucellus. Lastly, these enter into the embryo sac. These are the nucellar embryos, embryo sac, and are nourished by endosperm. These can be distinguished from the normal embryos by the irregular shape and lack of suspensor. There is no suspensor in the nucellar endosperm. Here there is no suspensor, but here it is having the suspensor. By that we can easily identify which one from the egg cell, which from came from the outside of the embryos. Egg cell. Okay. It is a very specific feature to distinguish the embryos which are formed other than the egg cell. Okay. And embryos from the integument. Embryos from the nucellus or integument. These both are comes under adventitious polyembryon. And Spheronthus cernua, gametes are not fertile because it is apomictic plant. Fertilization does not take place. Hence, adventitious embryos are formed from the integuments. So the fertilization has not happened naturally. Then what happened here is the adventitious embryos are formed from the integuments. Some here are these 2 to 6 embryos attain their maturity. In unitechnic teninucellate ovaries, inner layer of the integument from the endothelium, integumentary tapetum. It will be useful as a nutrient layer, which will be useful for the nutrition, for the supply of the nutrition to the embryo. Okay. Here, sometimes these cells filled with the cytoplasm takes multiple division. It leads to the formation of more embryos. Okay, example, Melampodium divalvata. and Cothomus tinctorius. Here you can see these embryos are formed from the endothelial cells. That means here this integumentary tapetum or endothelial cells are formed embryos. The archaeal embryo is formed the embryo, extra embryos from the endothelial cells in the Melampodium divaricata. Okay, these embryos may not be mature. And next one is pseudo polyembryony. True polyembryony and next one is the pseudo polyembryony. Origin of embryos from other embryo sac in the ovule, not from the same embryo sac. It may be from the other embryo sac or from the outside of the embryo sac of the ovule. Okay, sometimes the polyembryony occurs due to the presence of multiple embryo sac within the ovules. Multiple embryo sac within the ovules. Okay, in this, several embryos are formed after fertilization. Genetic reason or hybridization may be the cause for polyembryony. It plays an important role in the plant breeding. They may arise from the derivative of the same megaspore mother cell, example Solana melanginam, Jussia repens, or from the two or more megaspore mother cells. Pseudopolyembryony may arise from the same megaspore mother cell or from the two or more megaspore mother cell. Example is Rosa classical. And from nucellus cells, due to apospory also pseudopolyembryony will form. That is Opuntia, Citrus, Mangifera. Here in the Dendroptera nigrans we can find out the pseudo embryos, pro-embryos. Okay, it formed on the outside of the embryo sac. Okay, then what is the main reason for the polyembryony? Here we studied the polyembryony and polyembryony types. But what is the reason for the polyembryony? Many theories have been proposed to explain the occurrence of the polyembryony by different workers and different theories and different times. Some of the important theories are as follows, that are hybridization theory. According to this theory, the occurrence of multiple embryos due to the hybridization. Next, the recombination of genes takes place during the process of hybridization, forming a single unit that gives rise to the multiple embryos. By the recombination, by the hybridization, single unit that gives rise to the multiple embryos. Hybridization theory. Next one is necrohormone theory, Haberland, 1991. This theory indicates that degenerating cells of the new cellulus act as a source of stimulus for the adjacent cells to divide and form advent embryos. Example is Enothera. Nucellus cells, degenerating nucellus cells, which will be stimulate, give the nourishment to the adjacent cells. By that we form the advent embryos. Okay. And what are the other causes? Leroy identified the polyembryony in mango caused by one or more recessive genes. Because of the recessive genes also polyembryony may happen. These will happen only in the indigenous species, not in the imported species, exotic species. In our India, our mango, pride fruit of India is the mango. We are having the more number of the embryos. Polyembryony, best example in our India is mango. Next is citrus. In our India, Bombay, Puzzle, Logra types, polyembryony is common. According to Usato et al. 1957, the embryo number in citrus seeds may be influenced by the following factors. What are the factors? First one is the age of the tree. Increasing in older trees. Uh, Increasing the age of the tree, polyembryony also will be increased. Fruit set with higher in years of higher fruit set. Old age old trees will give the chance to the polyembryony. Nutritional status of the plants also cause for the polyembryony. Decreasing with reduced for food supply. If the food supply will decrease, then at that time this embryo will be split, divide, proliferate, and form the more embryos. That also calls for the polyembryony. And orientation of the branch also one of the most important. Here you can see the higher number of the polyembryony occur in the northern side branches than on the southern side branches. Northern side branches of the tree will form the more chance to form the polyembryony than the southern branches. And another is ethanol is one of the volatile inhibitor produced by the ovule of Citrus medica. The non-volatile component of the inhibitors are IAA, IBA, GA3, and sometimes NAA, NBA. This GA3 also stimulate the polyembryony. Here, because of the hybridization, because of the necrohormone, or because of the recessive genes, or due to the age factor, even orientation of the branch, and nutritional status, and food set, these all are the reasons the polyembryony. Okay. The main importance of the polyembryony. What are the functions? What is the main importance of the polyembryony? Polyembryony having the more importance in plant breeding horticulture to grow the more seeds, more plants, to grow high yielding varieties, high resistant varieties, high yielding varieties, high seedlings, and also for the seedless fruits. These are very much useful in the horticulture and plant breeding. Nucellular embryos are supposed to be free from diseases. Why? Because these are very adventurous, they show very active growth, so there is no chance for the disease cells, activation of the disease causing cells. And propagation of the fruit trees such as citrus and mango with polyembryony very much useful. Usually the polyembryony occur in the vegetative propagative species. Okay. And the application of adventive embryos is also important for providing genetically uniform seedling in fruit trees. It also useful to parental stability, uh, paternal inheritance. To maintain the maternal inheritance, these are very much useful. We can retain their mother's plant characters. It can be used for the development of homozygous diploids. Usually diploids are heterozygous. One is from male, one is from a female. These two fuse and form the zygote. But because of the polyembryony, without the fertilization also embryos are formed that came from the only mother cell. By that we can form the homozygous diploids. And artificial production of these embryos from the eggs or synergies also will be possible by this polyembryony. Okay, thank you. Thank you all.